What's up, brother?
Welcome to Tea Time at the Apothecary.
Hey. All right. Welcome. Hey, I'm TQ. This is my brother, JQ. We're talking to you live from Merz Apothecary and smallflower.com here in Chicago on this beautiful October fall day where it's going to hit like 73 degrees
Gorgeous.
and
I'm actually
sunny.
going to open my window.
It's so perfect. You can hear the sirens in the background. It's wonderful. Literally, that's what I'm hearing right now. But generally, it's beautiful. I've got woodpeckers climbing up and down the tree outside my window right now. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we do this every Wednesday and Friday. We talk. What do we talk, Jay?
We talk about life and
Tea,
happiness and tea and sometimes products
and
and
health and
ideas
wellness.
and guests and all kinds of stuff. Today we don't have a guest unless you consider my friend freshly steeped lavender a friend, but
Uh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
she is our guest today.
Yeah. Lavender is our guest today.
It is so fragrant.
Yeah. I've got a big in my tea filter. I've got a big pile of steeped lavender, and it's still just so fragrant, and it's awesome.
It's awesome.
By the way, this one looks gross because I drink so much tea it's stained in color, but this tea filter is my favorite ever, and we sell them. We can link them up if you are the kind of person who wants to drink more tea but is like loose tea is such a pain to deal with, or you always get little particles around. This particular filter, the mesh is so fine, you will not get a single speck of anything in your tea.
And it has like a cap, so you can put the lid on it as you walk with it, and then when you're done, you set it in the lid.
Yeah.
Great.
And so you can have it at a place where you're not next to a sink and not worry about like, oh, what do I do with this tea bag? Or I didn't bring a plate, or it's going to get a mess everywhere. In my house, I fight with the three ladies I live with because no one uses this. And I'm always like, what? They're like, what are you supposed to do with that? I'm like, not leave it sitting around on a counter or in a sink like we always do. It's like a built-in little holder for it. But anyway,
So why don't you have 4 of them in your house?
we do.
Oh,
They've lost the plastic for one of them, and the other 3 they never use. I'm the only one who uses the damn thing. So anyway,
I can tell you're happy about that.
yeah. Anyway, I need some lavender today, brother.
You have.
Lavender. Tell me what it's good for, Jay. I mean, I know, but I want to hear.
It's
I wanna hear some
so
of your
so
thoughts.
much. Lavender is what is lavender not good for? You know, um,
For making you angry, you wouldn't want to take lavender.
I'm not sure we have a lot of things that are designed to make you angry. Um, but but
Somehow, I seem to keep proving that wrong.
yeah, well, you tend to like,
I run.
maca makes
I
you
run pretty hot.
maca makes you angry. Anyway,
Maca makes me like I'm like the 2 days on Maca and I'm like the Incredible Hulk. I come out and I'm mad at everything and tearing apart everything.
lavender is amazing for calming. It also has antimicrobial properties, which we'll talk about in a little bit because a lot of the things we're going to be talking about have lavender in it. But
Yeah,
it helps you sleep. It helps calm your stomach. It is
it helps
wonderful for
it helps
headaches.
calm you down, but it's not it won't make you drowsy. So
No.
that's why you can drink this in the middle of the day. You can add it to a bunch of other things. You could drink it. We're just drinking a big pile of lavender flowers on their own. And
Um, yeah, it is so lovely and floral. Lavender is great. The bees love it. So it's good for the bees. So keep a bunch in your backyard. You don't have to do anything. If you don't put it in a pot and you just put it out, it's like becomes like a big bush and the bees go crazy for it. And so that's great.
we got to take care of the bees, right?
And you can just clip it, throw it in food. You can put it under chicken skin, like if you're doing French style, you can do like roast a chicken. You can put it in the skin. You can do
You could
clip
put
it.
it in your seltzer water. You could put it in your cocktail. You
We
could,
well, even better than that, in your cocktail, we can put it in the actual gin or vodka and just let it sit in there for like a day, and you have this lovely, lovely gin, especially gin, I would say, even like kind of cheap gin with lavender in it. You'll be like, this is fancy, fancy gin now. This is
it's
amazing.
the artisanal gin trick.
I remember I had like a bottle of Gordon's where like the thing cracked, like the cap cracked, and it was like the big old house bottle.
Yeah.
And the cap cracked, and I was like, I gotta do something with this. I don't want to like just sitting out with a cracked cap. So I put it in like a glass thing and threw in lavender, and then you came over and we had lavender lemonades, lavender electric lemonades, and they were so you could not taste the alcohol. It was so they were dangerous.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, I
Back in the
felt
day.
really good that afternoon. The next day,
Not so much.
not so much.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm enjoying it. I
I
need
would
this.
I would love to show you my new swag.
What's new swag? Oh, yeah. Look at your Merz mug. I should be drinking out of mine.
Merz mug, and so these are our tea time mugs now, and these are going to be available. I don't know if they're on the site, but they're going to be available. Look. Oh,
Uh,
let me turn the light off so you can see.
yep. It says pull back a little bit. Merz Apothecary, Lincoln Square. There you go.
Lincoln
Chicago.
Square, Chicago, and it has the amazing M that Rachel designed.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love
Yeah.
it.
It's nice. Good deal. I'm glad you're drinking out of that. That's awesome.
So that's our new swag. We should maybe give one of those away at the end of today.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So make sure you share this video while it's going, and if you are, you'll be eligible to get our
Yeah. Show us some love
Tea
on the video
Time
somehow.
official mug.
We'll pick someone out. That'd be awesome. So if you're just joining us, we are JQ and TQ on Tea Time at the Apothecary. And today, aside from talking about lavender, which we'll continue to talk about, we're going to talk about deodorants, natural deodorants, and some options, right?
Yeah, let's talk for a minute just about natural deodorants because we're not.
Can I talk for, oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I also want to shout out natural stinkiness because I kind of like that too.
Yeah, a little bit is great.
Yeah.
A little bit
Yeah.
is great. In fact, I think you were the one who told me that there are certain scents that turn on that turn people on and they find attractive. Um, and this was like over a broad swath of people, but they found a bunch of scents that were like, generally women tended to find attractive and men tended to find attractive. And I remember what some of them are. I remember that for women, the whiskey, leather, tobacco were in there. And then I remember you
For
telling
men,
me that grapefruit was for men and urine.
yeah. No, I think it was grapefruit and armpit sweat.
Armpit sweat. I think the urine was in there too. But
Anyway,
anyway, but it's like
I mean, we're animals, aren't we?
there's we're
It's
animals,
got to be in there somewhere.
you know.
Yeah. Anyway, but that said,
No, but a little stinkiness is good. So you're not if you're when we're talking about natural deodorants, we're talking about um, smelling like you and still smelling good. I think. And the other thing to remember is that we're not talking about something that completely blocks your sweat, not antiperspirant. That is, we both believe, not good for you. It stops your lymphatic system from moving. And
yeah,
we would I think that having a lymphatic system that is pumping and moving water around is a healthy thing for you. If you look at a lot of the issues that people are having, women and men are having right now, You have lots of issues with lymph nodes here and and prostate health for men, and that creates I can't, we don't have causality there, but I would like to keep those areas pumping and moving as smoothly as possible.
Yeah.
So that said, body chemistry is a funny thing, right? You you what works for me may not work for T, and doesn't actually.
I actually found that to be quite true.
And yet we are like more closely related and should have similar body chemistry and have a similar diet. So we between us we don't even find the same thing that works, right?
Well, I think that you're right. And I want to expand on that. This is like I don't have science behind this to sort of like give you the exactly how it affects it, but there is science to prove that this is true. And part of it is like, it's not, when you say body chemistry, I think what we're referring to is the fact that like we are we're like planets of living organisms, right? So all the bacteria on my skin is not the same as the bacteria on your skin. So yes, you and I are different, even though we're genetically about as close as you can be, aside from being like identical twins or something, right? But I think that part of it is,
I would say even more so because we have the same diet and probably foster a lot of the same microorganisms.
yeah, but my point is like there is no way to foster the same microorganisms, right? Like you can look at people within a family and it's totally different. And that's both in your gut and on your skin, et cetera. So we're like, I feel like there's like an aura of other organisms that of countless other organisms that live in and on us, right? And we need to start thinking about that. So when you think about, um, why does some natural deodorant work for one person then not for another? I think part of it is what are the other things? What's causing some of that odor or some of the thing that you're trying to avoid is the particular strains of bacteria or organisms that live on you and what happens to them when you sweat, right?
Yeah.
So that said,
But I think that people then try one, and because it's not an antiperspirant and it doesn't just block, they go, oh, I've tried it, those things don't work, right? And so you got to get into it and you got to try a few, and sometimes the one that worked for you for a year may not be the one for you next year.
yeah, I definitely found over time that changes. I had ones that used to work really well, and
And we can talk about why that might be as well. But my point is, give a few of them a shot. And I think that you will find one that works well enough for you, at least on most days, that you can attenuate the amount of aluminum you're putting under your armpit right after a shower while your pores are open into warm skin.
yep, yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. So yeah, I think the quick way to say it is you got to give it some time and try a few things and be willing to like have some that don't work. And the result is that you will, if you're switching from antiperspirant, you will have at some point in the near future a fully functioning lymphatic system again, which I would imagine, I'm being a little facetious, but it's like, I'd imagine we need that system to work. We know we do, and you were kind of alluding to it. So, I think there's always this idea of like, people are like, well, I just don't want to sweat. And it's like, cool. But I would imagine down the line, after decades of life, cutting off one essential system of cleansing in your body may not, I'm not willing to bet that like that's going to be okay.
Yeah, I agree. And I will also, while you're trying these, I want to warn people that if you haven't used one before, that the first couple weeks you might be extra stinky because you potentially are detoxing, and some of these lymph nodes that have not been pumping for a while are going to start pumping and shedding their the old gunk and the hardened crap you've got in there. So
Yeah, that's literally what happens in your pores where you would sweat. You basically what antiperspirant does is it puts a physical block that goes in and basically like makes them like calcified little channels where nothing can escape. So what you have is your body's sending waste product to those areas to get out of you. And it's like it's backed up. So if you've ever seen a basement flood or you've seen a toilet overflow, that's basic. You've got overflowing toilets here inside your body if you're using antiperspirant.
well, you'll have overflowing toilets for about 2 weeks. Before that, you just had a broken toilet. Uh,
Well, but my point is, it needs to go somewhere. It's backed up.
yeah. So, so it's clogged, and then it's got to go somewhere. So, so give it a week or two if it's the first time. I think it's important. And what better time? You're not like around that many people right now anyway. Get stinky for 2 weeks and get over the hump.
Yeah. On a side note, um, why is it that we get stinkier when we're like excited or nervous? I don't have, it's not like an answer, like I'm going to give you the answer. I'm sure it exists. But I've been riding like a lot of adrenaline lately with a big project. And I'm like, I normally don't, I think I'm blessed in that I don't generally smell very much, even if I forget to wear my deodorant. But lately I've been like, whoa. And I feel like it's part of it is just the nervousness of, you know, deadlines, pressure, etc., excitement about new things happening. Uh, Human bodies are totally amazing.
Yeah, it is. Um,
It is.
they are. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because um, the sweat that we have when we work out and is all over our body
Yeah,
is mostly water.
yeah,
Um, it comes from different glands that are like sort of all over your skin, and they're designed to cool your body down, obviously, right? But the glands in your armpits, they're only found in that area. And they're activated when you're under psychological stress. And and that type of sweat is actually has a higher concentration of fats and proteins.
huh.
So you are definitely going to be stinkier from that. It also explains why when you eat lots of funky cheeses, you're stinkier. you
Oh,
know?
that's interesting. I never really noticed that on myself, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. John, what's up? Everyone else has joined us. Hello, hello. So now that we've done that little primer on natural deodorants, sort
Let's
of
talk
working to
about
find yours, let's talk about some specifics
let's
just to
talk about
give
our
people some.
faves
Sure. Where shall we start?
in the
Let's talk
pit.
about some. Let's talk about some classics. Um, all right. This is an oldie but a goodie.
What is that one? Weleda.
Weleda deodorant sprays. They have a few different scents. It is an alcohol and alcohol, water, and some essential oils, and a little bit of no, yeah, all of it is essential oil based, basically.
Those are real simple. They're lovely.
Yeah,
They, I mean, they're glass. They're in a spray.
yeah,
Those.
just very simple. I would say this is like the representative of the older generation of natural deodorants, where there are some things we're going to talk about now that are in a lot of them that tend to make them more effective to a modern sensibility. But for many people, this is still quite effective. And there are many people who just love the ease and simplicity of this. And so I think it's still worth looking at and considering.
You can
Some people
also
might
like
find alcohol to
in a
be
pinch, you can just, you know what I mean? Like that stuff is you can
in a
spray your sweat.
COVID age, it's not bad to have one of these around just in case.
For sure. Spray
Yeah,
your clothes. You can probably just spray the tabletop and wipe with that thing. I mean, that thing's
yeah,
4 or 5 uses minimum.
yeah,
And they have like, I think it's three different scents or four. What is it? They have citrus, rose, and sage that I remember.
yeah. I don't have it all up in front of me, but there are a number of them, and they're quite nice. I just sprayed the citrus one. It's
That
sort of
one's,
like making 4711 your deodorant. It's
I,
pretty awesome.
I love that one. It's great. It's great. In fact, so if you're using a natural deodorant that feels like it's not quite enough, another thing that I've done in the past is I'll put the natural deodorant on, put my shirt on, and then spray the Weleda on top, like right there, a couple sprays on each side, and let it dry. That way, when if there is some funk, there's a little bit of alcohol and essential oil sitting there ready to pounce on it. You know?
Hmm, interesting. I would imagine the alcohol kind of dries up, but the essential oils kind of. I
Yeah, I
think the
don't know.
alcohol probably does a antiseptic sort of action at the beginning, and then you got the essential oils sort of hanging
Yeah.
out, waiting to do some more work.
Well, and if you're like we're getting into colder weather season by probably next week, and if like you don't wash your sweater every time you wear a sweater, you know what I mean? So it's nice to just
Speak for yourself.
hit the pits with the alcohol for a second too.
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's like
That's why your sweaters always smell like you're.
because I'm Weleda free for breezing it.
Yeah, nice. Way to get Weleda and Febreze in trouble.
That's my new rap. I'm Weleda free breezing it. I
Yeah.
can't even say it. It's a horrible song.
Yeah.
What else you got? I got um my personal favorite, and we talk about it all the time, is Meow
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 meow tweet.
Meow Meow Tweet. Meow Meow Tweet makes several different ones. This is their grapefruit, ding 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 ding, um, baking soda free cream, and so you take this out like that, and then you
Like a
just
cream.
rub it into your pit, and then just rub it
Like
around.
a cream.
And then when you're done, and you're like, oh, there's still some left in my hands, you go like this. Yeah, look at that height. Look at that height.
That's good. Yeah, I think it's funny that we talk about the first two that we talked about. We talk about other uses. Obviously, not every form of deodorant makes it easy to use in other ways, but I think if you have ingredients that you can't apply elsewhere on your body for other purposes, maybe you want to think about whether you want to apply it on an area that's very sensitive.
Right after hot water.
Yeah, that's the sort of seat of your lymphatic drainage, right?
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
So cool. That I know you love Meow Meow Tweet Cream. I would just say if you think like, for some people that will be obvious, like glass jar, no plastic, go for it. Awesome. Go
Awesome.
do it. It's great. If you're on the fence, you're like cream, remember, part of the reason why you maybe want it in a stick is like when you're putting aluminum and like dangerous chemicals on your armpits, which you probably shouldn't do. Yeah, you don't want to touch it and then accidentally touch your eyes or something like
Put it
that.
in your mouth or your
Yeah,
food.
or your mouth or whatever. But like when you're using something where the ingredients are okay to use are basically kind of like food grade ingredients, well
Yeah.
then
Can I just read the ingredients on this real
yeah,
quick?
that's my point.
Is arrowroot powder, which I use to make pizza.
Yeah.
Magnesium hydroxide, which is
Magnesium is just magnesium. There's many forms, but it's awesome.
magnesium hydroxide though is milk of magnesia, right?
I believe I don't remember which ones are which, but
Yeah,
yes.
I'm pretty sure.
I think
Coconut oil, I also eat that. Shea butter, jojoba oil, essential oils of orange, grapefruit, lemon, bergamot. That's it. That's
Yeah.
everything.
So the everything that you can't eat are things that we already put on our body in all kinds of products, on our body, on our hair, on our whatever. So, um, you know,
Certified organic and fair trade. I mean, and no plastic. It's a metal top and a glass bottom. I mean, it is amazing stuff.
yeah.
And it's the cutest design ever. So,
And my point was going to be, aside from the ingredients, like just touch it with your finger, rub it on your armpit, and then if you don't want to rub it in your hair like my brother, just rinse off your finger, and you don't have to worry about, do I touch something else? Did I touch something gross? It
it
makes a
actually
lot of
smells
sense.
so good, though.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
yeah. So let's talk about. I'm a huge fan of Ursa Major in general.
Ooh,
It's
I got
sort
that
of
one too.
like, yeah. This is the base layer deodorant, which is very, very. It's they call it unscented. It's not like, so sometimes when you're looking at a mainstream product and they call it unscented, they put a bunch of scent in there to make it neutral. Do you know what I mean? Or ingredients to make it neutral. What this
And
means by
then there are
unscented,
things that don't add scent once the product is created, right?
yeah, this has some herbs and things which have a slight scent, but what it means is like they're not throwing sporty scent, sporty men's scent on top.
Or
This is
even essential oils that aren't necessary for the formula,
yeah,
right? So
this
if
is
there's rosemary as a preservative or something, it's way down on the list and it's not going to be.
yeah. So this one is aloe. It's aloe, and this is like in that range of what I would call like natural, but like maybe like processed natural, where they're making it into a really easy glide stick. They're using ingredients generally clean, but it's coming out more like a. There's a lot more ingredients in this product. There's many organic things in here. There's pretty much all. They're showing the you know there's aloe, there's sodium stearate, tapioca starch, there's that Saccharomyces ferment. So you're actually getting like a probiotic. So you're actually, the idea is you're putting on bacteria, which are like odor eating bacteria in your armpit, like live bacteria cultures or whatever. But there's a bunch of other good things. Also, shea butter, hops extract, lemon peel, marigold, chamomile. So they call it unscented. It's more like it's just the scent of those ingredients.
Yeah.
But it definitely wouldn't, you wouldn't walk around being like, smell my armpit scent. Like it's just pretty neutral. And I like it. This is Alex, our buyer. It's his favorite deodorant. And many of our customers' favorite deodorant. So if you're like thinking about making the switch to a natural deodorant, but are like, maybe I don't want 5 ingredients that I rub out of a glass jar into my armpit. I'm not saying that you should think that way, but if that's you, just be honest with yourself. This would be a great bridge deodorant.
Yeah. It
And
does
maybe
have
your
a
final stop.
propylene glycol base with the water. That's some people. It's on some people's no list. This is probably the plant based one,
Where do
and
you see that? The propanidiol or whatever?
uh yeah, that's a sort of a plant based propylene glycol.
Gotcha.
And then this Saccharomyces ferment is such an interesting ingredient actually. Um, it was originally discovered to get rid of the smell for livestock poop.
Really?
Yeah, it was used in industrial farming. That's how they discovered this ingredient. And then they saw all kinds of applications for something that could neutralize odors. And the fact that it was plant derived was just amazing. And not only that, but it's usually, I don't know if this one is, but it is often organic as well. It comes in an organic, the option. Like, it comes from one of these big distributors that makes like vats of it, and then your lab will get that for you and put it in your product. But they make
Cool.
a certified organic one too, and it's poop eater. It's chicken poop eater.
I'd like to get it to like spray in teenagers' near teenagers' shoes and clothes where they just like leave them all over my house, stuff like that. Teenagers are kind of stinky.
Yeah, they don't eat well.
They don't eat well, but also like they're just all their hormones are going crazy. They're just like they're little odor generating
Little
machines.
stink bombs.
Yeah, in a good way. It's like, it's not a problem for me, but sometimes I'm like,
My kids are not that stinky yet, so.
no, they're too young. They'll get there. Don't worry. Don't you worry, Jay.
When will
All
my
right.
kids be that stinky?
I want to talk about another one that's similar, that's very popular, the Malin+Goetz eucalyptus deodorant. Um, oh, it smells so good, I have to say. It's just so choice.
Choice.
Yeah, this one also is, this is a propylene, this is even more propylene glycol, straight up propylene glycol as the main ingredient. It makes it super glidey, but if that's not your thing, this isn't the one for you. But again, this would be, they call this a deodorant with a cult following. This has a lot of people who love it. And this is a really good, like, hey, it's my first natural deodorant and I want to make the jump to something that feels relatively comfortable. I would say this is a good one.
Yeah. I I'm a little mixed on these ingredients, but yeah. I think that if you're a person who uses um, Speed Stick or Old Spice or something in that
Yeah,
vein,
this
this
would be
would be a
perfect.
step in the right direction.
Yeah. But I mean, like, let's talk
Albeit a
about like in
pretty
the
small.
steps. Yeah, but I'm saying at least you're not using aluminum. So like one major, I'd call it like it's a
Yeah,
small
but
step in terms of like the whole.
that's true of Old Spice too. That's why I brought that one up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like this might be a great one for someone who's using an antiperspirant who wants to switch to deodorant, but still kind of wants something that feels very familiar,
Yeah, true that.
right?
True that.
Cool. You got any others? I don't have my list up in front of me.
I don't have any more actually with me, but I have others written.
I have one more because I think that, I know we've talked about this many times, but I think that it's worth bringing up, and that is our friends, the Duggan sisters here in Chicago, because it is so unique and for many people so effective. We can talk about what the sort of challenges for some people are, but so this is cool. This is Life Stinks, which seems to be an appropriate name. I always thought it was a bit pessimistic. In 2020, it seems like, maybe on the slightly optimistic side. It's just, that's my thinking. So this Life Stinks. If you want to try something unique. So this is a metal reusable container. It has a sifter at the top, and inside is a bag that you'd pour the product in here. It's a powder. It is pharmaceutical grade sodium bicarbonate, which is like the pharmaceutical grade baking soda, essentially. And then there, in this version, which is definitely the best seller, there's tea tree oil and lavender oil, two essential oils. And those are the three ingredients. And you take literally a tiny little bit and pat it under your armpit, right?
Yeah.
It lasts forever. This amount, probably for one person, could be like 6 months worth of deodorant. So although it's a big upfront cost, not big upfront, but it's like, you're like, if you're buying a deodorant, this might seem like a lot to start at $33. It's actually a cheaper deodorant than most in terms of what you
Certainly,
get.
it's certainly value wise, it is one of the best.
And then
If
you can
not the
avoid buying another big container and just refill from a refillable pouch like this. So the thing I would say about it is I find it to be tremendously effective. I think some people, you are one of them, Jay, find that, and even me, after maybe like, for me, it takes many months, sometimes a year, but like after a certain amount of time, I find that using the sodium bicarbonate directly on the skin can cause irritation.
I can't actually use anything with sodium bicarbonate in it. So this Ursa, I can't even use the Ursa. What happens is after a certain amount of time for some people, maybe that time is probably for everyone, but maybe that time is 10 years or 20 years for you, so you'd never know. But eventually baking soda is it can compromise your acid mantle. You have this like sort of like shell, acid shell on your skin, and when you're rubbing something super basic in all the time, you can compromise it. And what happens is, and this happened to a lot of us at the store who were using it, is about 6 months in or one
Using
year.
any baking soda deodorant too
What's
long.
up?
Yeah, go on. I'm saying using any deodorant with baking soda this good.
Using any product with baking soda, we had issues like rash. We broke out just in that spot. And then, all it took was like stopping for a week or two. And then it kind of like sorted itself out. But I tested several times with many deodorants with baking soda, and I get itchy right away when those come up. But that said, Greta uses one and is fine, and she likes to have one that is with baking soda and one without, and she keeps the one with baking soda with her in the in her purse, and so she'll like use the normal one, and if that day she senses it's going to be a little bit more sweaty or stressful, then she can put that one in for some extra protection. And I think as long as you're every once in a while switching to another one. Maybe it's when you're already doing a cleanse or already doing a juice cleanse or a green drink cleanse, or it's January and you're taking the month off of drinking anyway. Also, take a break from that deodorant and switch to something super, super mild for that month just to reset. I think is a good idea. That's my suggestion anyway. But those are fantastic. They work great.
Yeah, they really do.
I don't think anything gets rid of smell quite as good as Life Stinks. Um, and that booster stick, I've talked about it many times, is one of my favorite products. You use
Yeah,
it on mosquito bites. I've used it for headaches. You can also use that their actual deodorant for like a zillion things. You can put it in your dishwasher and it will clean out your dishwasher if it's smelling stinky. It's awesome stuff.
yeah.
So
No, it's one of those things like we talked about with the other deodorants, like simple, powerful ingredients that can be used in many ways. You can brush your teeth with that.
yeah, I brush my teeth with it. In fact, we went to Costa Rica. Remember, it was like one of the only products I brought.
That's like a great clickbaity title that we need. Greta, if you're watching, it's brush your teeth with your deodorant.
Yeah, if you can't brush your teeth with your deodorant,
Yeah.
it's
What happens when you watch what happens when you brush your teeth with your deodorant?
nothing.
That's
I
the
have
quick.
super clean, lovely
Yeah,
teeth.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so I'm a big fan of that one, but I do want to just be
also I just feel
transparent
like
about
the Duggan sisters are a force of nature.
they're so good.
Chicago siblings from a large South Side Chicago family.
Just lovely people.
They're amazing women, and I really, I have tons of respect for them and enjoy whenever I get a chance to talk to them.
And
Uh,
just the fact that they've grassroots from the ground up sold this thing at farmers markets everywhere. And then when we partnered with them, it felt like we went to the next level with them and we got to ride along for that awesome ride. And they are so passionate. If you can't, if you met them, you wouldn't be able to not buy 6 deodorants for your favorite,
yeah, I
you
know.
and your favorite 5 people.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be
And
impossible.
I've learned a lot from them. Just their sort of mission driven, information driven, knowledge driven selling is incredible.
And just to like give a little bit of pub to what they would say right now is your lymphatic system is so important. It is the most important thing you can take care of. And you should not only be using a deodorant that does not have aluminum or aluminum salts, none of those ones that are natural aluminum salts, they do the same thing. It's the same chemical. And they would tell you to every day get on a rebounder, a trampoline, and bounce it
One of those little
down
ones.
on your calves and get your calves moving. And when you go up on your toes and down, it's like a pump for your whole lymphatic system. It gets it draining, it gets it moving. And the other thing they would tell you is to soak at least once a week in bath salts, especially Epsom salts, and they make some lovely ones with grapefruit oil in them that are especially designed for lymphatic drainage. So,
Yeah, cool. Good job, Jay. You absorbed that well, and it's all true. I agree with 100% of it. I think that's got to pump that. They always say the ankles, the ankle joint is literally the pump. And
yeah.
if you move that up and down, you get so much better detoxification in your body. You will be a healthier person.
And when you hear it from them, it is coming from cancer survivors. They are incredible family, and they're really resilient, and they made these products because they wanted something safe for them and the people they love. So
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if you are all looking for something to stop using as much waste and for to give your family to be healthier, deodorant, and I would just gonna plug Shambar too, is like those are great stocking stuffers this year. They're under, most of them are under $15 to start out, and you can just like give one in their stocking, and then they have to try it, and once they're stuck on it, they're going to thank you and feel so much better, and everyone will be happier and healthier.
and the world will be a little less plastic, in many of the cases, a little less plastic laden, and you know,
And your people will be hopefully a little less prone to problems that come from blocking your lymphatic system.
yep. Good idea, Jay. I like it. And yeah, good shout out on Shambar, which I just can't get enough of. Hey, I was at Belmont Barbershop the other day,
Yeah,
and all of the barbers came up to me and they're like, "It is effing awesome." They are freaking out. They
nice.
love it. They love it.
Great.
So yeah, I just wanted to let you know they all send their thanks and their respect. So
Amazing.
yeah,
All right. Well, I think we should call it there. Go try a natural deodorant or six, but find one that works for you because it is worth it. The risks are not worth it. To just not sweat is not worth it. It's not
yeah,
worth it. I promise you. The people you love will tell you to sweat and even stink, as opposed to leave them early.
yeah. True that. Hey, so on Friday, October 9th at noon Central Time, we have one of our favorite brands and a guest, the CEO of one of our favorite brands, who's a good friend of mine, someone that I really love talking to, and that's Subi.
Who is that this
Uh,
Friday?
yeah, Subi from Uncle Harry's is going to join us. And she and I have kind of a special bond because we both run
Your
stressful
dad, your
family business.
dad's businesses. What's up?
Yeah. Um, anyway, so I think she's someone I always enjoy talking to, and she is talk about someone who's super passionate about the earth, about
Very
great
excited.
products, about any little thing we can do to like eliminate waste. This is a driver for her, so I can't wait to talk to her. She's just the coolest. So please join us on Friday. If you don't know Uncle Harry's and you don't know Subi, it will be a treat.
Yeah, it is by far everyone in our family's favorite toothpaste and one of our favorite companies ever. So please tune in, and we'll be talking, I'm sure, a lot about zero waste products because she is a huge proponent.
Yeah. Also, if you want a mug, show us some love.
Yeah, make sure you share the video, and then we'll send you a mug and maybe some lavender. Yeah.
We're gonna pick. Yeah, we'll pick someone to do that. We'll send a mug and some lavender tea, so you can enjoy it. All right.
Thank you as always for tuning in. We love
Yes, we do.
you.
Thank you. That's for you.